Well, hey everyone, still no inspection on the bathroom. That's my fault this week. I haven't called or pursued or followed up with this inspector at all. Haven't been available, like I keep saying. But there's no lack of projects to work on around here, so I'm not sitting around and doing nothing. I've got something else. I would probably be working on what I'm going to be doing this weekend anyway, even if the inspection was done. And that's, I got to get my new water lines hung and insulated. They're still all just kind of draped by the fittings, and there's no insulation on them, and it's beginning to get cold here. We've had a couple of frosts. We've still been in the low 30s and high 20s and the low temperature anytime recently, but you know how quick that'll change. And so if I keep avoiding it, I just really haven't wanted to go back in the crawl space after spending like an entire weekend in there. But it's time to. I've got to this weekend. So I'm about to go get some. I almost said material for breakfast. I'm gonna go get some ingredients for breakfast so I can cook, and then I got to get material for the. I just need pipe insulation. Is all that I need. I already have the hangers, and while I'm under there, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to do my dryer vent, because as some of you guys probably know, the dryer, the way that this house has always been, the dryer just vents into the crawl space, which isn't good because that shoots humidity and lint into the crawl space, but also this crawl space is so open and vented, since it's just stacked up rocks, it probably hasn't actually really been causing that much of an issue, but I don't want to continue using it that way. I'm going to do a vent straight out and out next to the crawl space door. So that's the plan. Grocery store, hardware store. Alright, we're back from the grocery store. Got sausage, bacon. I already had the English muffins. I got some more to replace that because I've only got two left. But cooking up some bacon, sausage will be next. Then I'll fry an egg, make a sandwich out of this. Alright, this takes a pretty long time, but it's worth it. You heat these up in the same pan, they get a little bit of the bacon grease flavor on them. Ended up doing 2 sausage patties because those, by the time you spread them out, they get pretty thin, so that's the way we're doing it. Egg's just about ready to flip. We're almost there. Got a Tabasco from the garden to go along with it. Really been liking the flavor of black pepper, especially recently. I've always liked it, but I'm liking it extra for some reason recently. Add a little cayenne pepper to this too. Nothing can ever be spicy enough. Now that is a pretty tall breakfast sandwich. Oh, I got the Tabasco all cut up. I think you saw that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to eat that one outside. That's the bad part about cooking it in the bacon grease. It makes it really greasy, but it makes it really good too. Now I know what you guys are probably thinking. Two sausage patties, 4 slices of bacon, an egg, and a slice of cheese is not enough protein. Well, that's why I have a protein shake also. Yeah, that's just right. So let's go over what I picked up from the hardware store real quick. I got 4 bags of the best R-value pipe insulation that they had. Not much to talk about there, just regular foam pipe insulation. I think I bought a little bit less than I need because I'd rather go buy, I'd rather run out and then go buy exactly what I need, and I have no idea how much of that. I know I used less than 100 feet, that's all that I know. So I went ahead and got, I don't know how many feet, 4 bags worth. And then I've got 2 of these 6-foot lengths, well they will be 6-foot lengths once they're extended, of dryer vent, hose, pipe, I guess it's pipe. It's called Quick Connect Hookup Dryer Schedule Duct. Call it this dryer duct. This seemed to be the best that they had. I really wanted some of the solid, smooth wall of duct, but they didn't have any. This is all they had, so I figure that'll be sufficient. Everyone will let me know if it's not. I got one of these just in case I need it somewhere, and then the regular old exhaust vent hood. I'm gonna have to bust a hole in the stem wall, crawl space foundation wall to get this through wherever I end up deciding to come out. So that'll be nice. And then besides that, so most of my family watch most of my videos, And so my grandparents were in town this week, or weekend, towards the end of the week. It was my parents' anniversary on Thursday, and my grandparents' anniversary, my mom's parents, are on the same day, their anniversary is on the same day. I assume that was intentional. I guess my mom did that on purpose. So my grandparents came up for that, so I went over there and I was talking to my grandpa, and he was talking about how he watches all the videos and stuff, and he told me that he was watching, let me backtrack a little bit, he was watching the video about the water leak, the busted water pipe in the crawl space, and he saw me turning my water meter off with a crescent wrench, which that was not meant to be my permanent solution. That's just what I was using in the meantime until I could ever remember to buy a meter key. You know, even the plumbers, when the plumbers were right here, they were like, where you been turning your water off? And I told them at the meter, and I asked them if they had a key. I was like, I've been using a crescent wrench. And they were like, you know, you can buy one of those for like $10. And I was like, I do know that. I just never think of it anytime I'm out. Well, now I'm glad that I didn't, because he saw me doing that, and he made me this one out of some pipe and a piece of plate steel, I assume. He's got the notch cut into it and welded it all together and primered it. So this is a lot more special than a store-bought one. So I'm very glad. Of course, I mean, even if I had bought one, I would just, I don't know, give it to someone and then keep this one. So now I'm excited for the next time I need to turn the water off. Unfortunately, I don't need to do that for anything I'm working on today. But you know how it is when you own a house and you're working on it, especially one that needs a bunch of work. That kind of stuff's coming up all the time, so I plan to keep that around for the rest of my days, and hopefully they don't ever change the way that a water meter works and make this one not sufficient. So that's a pretty special thing. But I figure it's time to get to work. I've procrastinated long enough into the day. I've eaten now and I should be good for a couple of hours. Obviously, I think the more threatening issue is the potential of a frozen water line, so I think that I need to prioritize getting all these water lines insulated. So that's what I'm going to work on first. So I got my knee pads. I got to get those on and get under there. I went ahead and found my hammer. If I remember right, I think I left all those PEX line hangers in the crawl space, so I think all I got to do is just crawl around and hang those up. I need to get my headlight and get in there. I don't know how much I'll be able to record to where it makes sense. I don't know. I might try to set my phone up in there somewhere. I wish I had a good light I could put down there so you could see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so here's the first area. Trying to not block my light with my phone. So this is underneath the kitchen sink. See, this is actually where the water supply comes out of the ground, right here. So that's the cold water supply to the house. I gotta put something on that still. Goes up. That's cold water to the sink. This is just the supply to the water spigot. This was already done in PEX, and they used red. That's not the hot water supply. The hot water supply is that right there to the sink. And then this is the water, or this is the one I'm going along right now. It goes back and supplies the refrigerator, even though the refrigerator that I have doesn't have any type of water implements. There's still a water line for it, so I'm going ahead and insulating that one. That one was never insulated. That one was also already done. And I don't believe it's PEX, but it's not polybutylene. So some other type of modern water line. Insulating that, because even though they never insulated it. And I'm just going through. I went ahead and hung what I can reach. Put a hanger here, put a hanger there. And I did a hanger right there. And I used some of the old hangers and some of this other stuff. You can see most of that is still just drooping. That gray is not hooked up to anything. I need to drag that out of here. It's trash. And then over there, the water lines are just sitting on the ground. This one's just supported by that gas line. So a lot of hangers are put on still. But besides, this was kind of all of the intersections that I needed to do with the insulation. The rest of it should just be straight runs, pretty much. All right, no idea how good that angle is. This is the I think this is the hot output or the hot, I'm pretty sure this is the hot water line to the sink, if I remember right. I don't want to turn around to see where this goes, but I can see that it comes out of the hot water heater, so I know that. And that is just barely hooking a rock. That's keeping it, preventing my ability to push it the whole way. Come on. Oh, there we go. Nice. Just got that little section, and then I can consider that one good. Way short on insulation. It kind of looks like I needed twice as much as I got. Stuff is going really fast. Okay, that's that entire one insulated. Well, I thought I'd take this opportunity while I'm here in the tallest part of the crawl space to show you guys around. Little crawl space tour. So you see the foundation wall here. This is the front side of the house where the porch is. We have a floating temporary support that someone added at some point. And it's just, you know, like I said, stacked up rocks everywhere. That's the crawl space door over there where I was working a minute ago. Working my way around. There's not quite enough room to sit all the way up right here. So you've got stacked up piers. There's those 4x4s I added back in the day as new temporaries. And that's where I'm going. Got all those to insulate right there. I just finished hanging this water line and I insulated it all the way to the bathroom. But I've got that, all those intersections that'll have to be insulated still. And then the dryer vent is also over there. That's the drain from the laundry room that you can see there. This angle makes it look a lot taller than it actually is. Okay, very not ideal recording conditions right here. This is the wide angle lens, and this is the best I can get. But I just got a beautiful three-way connection right here. Got those notches just right. I've got basically everything over there. This is so hard to point this. I'm laying on my back, trying to reach across and over. I've got, I think, all that good enough. And this, it's pretty good. I just got that little section right there left, and that'll be everything. And then it'll just be the dryer vent after that. See those spiders? They've been, I don't know if they're mating or fighting, but they were doing that like right here over my face the whole time I was working on this. I had to just pretend like they didn't exist. All right, just about done. Honestly, that big frickin' nasty cricket spooks me more than any of these spiders. He's huge. He's got a spider right next to him too, and there's a spider right behind me. But I'm here at the final connection. It's probably gonna take like a piece and a half. I did have to go back and buy more. I got 3 more bags. I was way off with 4 bags. Also, check out the condition of that floor joist. You can see it's been repaired at some point. They screwed like a little 3-foot piece of 2x6 onto the other side into the broken spot. I know exactly where that is too. That's right under my bed. There's a spot before I put my bed there. Every time you walk over it, the whole floor is like, and like sags down like 2 inches. And yeah, you can see why. That floor joist is destroyed. All right, so everything everywhere is insulated, and I think as hung as I'm going to, or as much as hung as I'm going to. I would have hung that one, but it's underneath that gas line, so it's kind of pointless, I guess. But I went ahead, I had some left over, I went ahead and put as much on this little main portion where the water comes out of the ground. As much as would fit on there. Figure can't hurt. I've got this one shutoff right here, but it's only for the spigot. I guess that's so you can come in here in the winter and turn it off, so that it doesn't freeze in the spigot. I went ahead and turned it off for now. I guess if I decide to use the water hose again, I'll just reach in here and turn it back on. But now this is insulated, obviously. It's not big enough to get a good coverage on this, but everything is as good as I could get it. I feel much better about all of it. But unfortunately, that's not it for now, because I still have to go over there in that horribly cramped area and see if I can connect that dryer hose and run it from there over to here somewhere, I guess. Well, it says right here in this concrete that Biff and Pam poured this slab in February of '97. Little did they know that in November of 2024, it was going to be directly in my way for running the dryer vent out the wall. I'm not going to destroy their hard work, but I am going to knock this corner off so that I can properly get this out without kinking this hose or having to have it collapse in any way. And there's not hardly any way for me to do this without blocking the camera. But I'm hoping that this SDS could just knock this edge off. I don't know where any of my other chisel bits are, so this is going to be a bigger pedal than I really need. That kind of looks like it worked out perfectly, but I don't know yet. Definitely a lot better than it was. Here, I'll show you what I just did. So you can imagine when that was just continuous trying to do that like this, creating a sharp angle, so that's gonna help. And that goes into the crawl space. I still gotta push it in there far enough that I can come from the other side and grab it and pull it through and hook into it. Okay, well, change of plans. There's too much stuff in the way to vent that dryer or pull that dryer pipe vent duct through the way that I hoped I could. I never really shined a light in there and looked into that hole, but there's the rim joist for the kitchen is right in front of it, like immediately. And then underneath it, you can look under it, it's only like this much, so I'll have to cut out, if I want to go into the crawl space right there, I'd have to do a hole saw and cut out like the majority of that rim joist, which I don't want to do that, just for the dryer vent. It already wasn't ideal that it was going to have to span all the way to the other side of the house, and then I was going to have to hammer drill or saw cut out a hole to get that vent out, and then the vent is going to be underneath the porch. Everything is just not working, and it's making me think that maybe it's not the best way that we could do it. So this is going to be one of those times that I ask for everyone's input. Do you guys think it would be better to just go straight up and out the roof with a dryer vent that comes out the roof? I know that that's not ideal. The way that I tried to do it was the most ideal way, but there's just too many things that's making it not work and turning it into not the most ideal way to do it. So I know that there's problems with going through with the roof. You have the potential for roof leaks because it's a roof penetration, and then you also have the vent pipe in the wall that creates potential fire hazard, and then you have the humid air blowing directly onto the shingles all around your roof penetration that can potentially cause rot. And then the only other idea that I have would be to still go up the wall and then up, and then we could go into the attic right here. I don't want to do this. Don't vote for this idea. We could go in the wall, up between the studs, into the attic, which is godforsaken. I don't ever want to go up there, but we could. And then come over and out into the carport up high. We have a vent that comes out the wall. That way you don't have to worry about the potential leak problems. But good Lord, I do not want to go up there into that attic and work around up there. I'll deal with the crawl space. The attic is nightmare fuel. So my issue with both of those plans is that I kind of hate to cut out a section of the wall to get the vent pipe into the wall and then up the inside of the wall the way that it really needs to be, since eventually I imagine I will eventually remodel that laundry room. So I kind of hate to cut that out and leave it open until I remodel it, and I also hate to cut it out and repair it and like finish it and then pull all that out again if I ever do remodel. I might still do that, I don't know. We'll see. So I guess there's our three options to vote on. Do I destroy the rim joist and make the hole big enough that I can go through the hassle of having it vent all the way across the bottom of the house and out the other side by the crawl space door, where I would have to hammer drill out a big hole for the vent? Or do I go up and out the roof? Or do I go up into the attic and out the carport, or out underneath the carport, out the wall? It would be up there around where that electrical box pipe goes up. It would come out right there. And then there's option number 4, and that is to just do an interior vent kit, which they exist. It's just the hose just comes up and then hangs on the wall right above the dryer, and then it just has separate filters so that it's not blowing lint into the house. I'm sure it still blows some lint, and but that does blow all the humidity from the dryer into the house, which would definitely cause long-term problems. It's probably more of a temporary solution. But who knows, if I did that and then I've got that dehumidifier, I could just run the dehumidifier in the laundry room all the time. I don't know. I'm not experienced enough on the subject to make a decision on that, or make a definite declaration on whether that would be good or bad. But that would be a $20 solution. I could go buy one of those, hook it up, take me 20 minutes, potentially be done with it. It's cheap enough, I may try it, just see what it's like, if it feels like the humidity level was getting extremely high in there all the time. I only do laundry once a week anyway, so it's not like it would be an extraordinary amount of humidity getting blown into the house all the time if I did do that. I don't know. Voice your opinions. I liked hearing everyone's input on the drainage problems. Lots of votes for a French drain, which that was my very first idea. I just don't know. I'm not educated enough on drainage. I don't know if that would be sufficient at stopping the groundwater intrusion. So if it was just a surface water problem, which is what the flooding was, I do believe that the French drain would take care of that problem. But overall, the goal is to stop this settling problem that we have from water getting underneath the house. And I don't know if just digging a trench and burying a drainage pipe and filling that trench with gravel would stop. I'm sure it would definitely lower the amount of water that makes it underneath the house's foundation, but I don't know if that would be sufficient in stopping that problem. I think that's kind of the idea behind having such a long area of grade sloping away from the house, because it kind of puts the house up on a higher elevation in the groundwater perspective, to where you don't have that moisture underneath the house. And I could see as I was in the crawl space today that definitely when that flooding happened, a lot of water was flowing underneath all of it and underneath the house, because there's several spots where you can tell where water was running underneath the house and through the crawl space. I'm not saying I'm not going to try a French drain. I do think that it may be worth a shot to just go through there and dig a trench and bury a pipe or several pipes and fill it in with gravel and see how that affects it. I could start, paying attention when it rains, see if there's still water collecting around the house or sitting against the foundation. We will see. Definitely will see. So voice your opinions on what you think we should do about the dryer vent. Feel free to continue talking about the drainage problems, coming up with solutions. I like reading all the suggestions. I feel a lot better having those water lines hung and insulated finally. I guess I'm calling it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.